Good evening and welcome to the Finance SEQFC Preview Show with thanks to Vilic Law. This week I'm coming to you, luckily, for the second instalment with Darren, Liam and Tony. So this week we're going to go through some of the fixtures. Welcome, boys.
Thank you, Joe.
Joey.
Tonight we're going to cover a couple of the leagues. I know, Darren, you're taking charge tomorrow, so for more of the excitement. Tonight we'll cover, obviously, the MPL, the FQPL, and some of the Brisbane leagues. We might kick off at the top of the tree and we'll look into, Tony, your specialty. We'll check out the NPL. You got out last weekend. How do you think it's going to turn out this weekend? Where'd you end up last weekend, firstly, and then what's your thoughts for this round coming up?
I finished up at Olympic on Sunday, and I have to admit I left at the 60th minute mark.
I got out there as well, Tony. I thought it was a great atmosphere. Credit to Olympic, good work with their COVID procedures, and I think they actually had to cap the gate. But why'd you leave early, Tony?
Oh, I think I jinxed Olympic. They would have chased me out if I stayed.
God.
I said to the president as I walked in, I said, did you hear my prediction? If you don't beat this mob by 3 or 4, you're in trouble. And he said to me, his response was, you put the kiss on death on us. So there you go. I left early.
Wise move.
That result ended up 1-0 the Strikers, of course. Yeah. I know we had a bit of a chat, Tony, on the weekend. I think you had some pretty good input. What do you think? Maybe the missing link for Olympic, because I think they're a pretty good squad all round. It's a pretty big shock to myself, that result.
We've seen the signing today. I think that's the big difference. They haven't got no one. They had nothing up front to score a goal.
Who's the big announcement? I saw Darren had a nice share on the page.
That was a Japanese boy from RPL Icart. Is that where he was from? Yes.
Yeah.
I think a bit of history in New South Wales as well as Victoria over the last 2 years, so I think that's pretty good. You mentioned before we got on the chat, you were looking to get out to a game this weekend. What do you think the game is?
Moreton Bay Power.
What you pick for both of them? Pretty good.
No, I think the wheels have fallen off Moreton Bay, haven't they? They were 2-0 up on the weekend against Kapalaba and lost 3-2, and Kapalaba finished the game with 10 men. So I don't know what's going on there. They started off with 2 wins, I think, Moreton Bay, and then they got touched up by Lions, got touched up by Olympic. And I don't think the results since the comeback have been that great either.
So who's your call on this one? Not very positive towards Moreton Bay.
Well, you would think Power would beat them on form. You would think Power would win. But stranger things have happened in the world. We're glad enough to stick my neck out after last week.
We'll see Tony's kiss of death. We'll see who it affects.
Yeah, but has Power's form, you think, been good enough? You think? I mean, they're not doing as well as they did at last season. So do you think? I think it'll be closer than you think. Actually, to be honest.
Oh, I'm not saying Power will get them by a big score. I think it'll be tight because they're the 2 local days.
Yeah. I haven't been convinced by Power at all. I haven't been convinced by Power at all so far this season.
I haven't seen Power, but I've seen 3 or 4 of Moreton Bay's games.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Okay.
I think we're divided, boys. I know there's a couple other interesting games. So Saturday, of course, we got Strikers versus Lions, East versus Sunny Coast Wanderers, Redlands versus Olympic. Maybe a chance there. What do you boys think? With Knights having the bye this weekend, is there a chance for a couple of the teams here maybe to find some daylight in the top 4?
Who was Redlands playing?
So Redlands have Olympic at Redlands on Saturday at 7 p.m.
Yeah, I think Olympic will respond. I think Redlands as well. They've been a bit 50-50. I think Olympic will certainly. I think they'll bounce back. To be honest. I
think that might be the game to watch Saturday.
Yes.
Liam, we might move on to the FQPL. I know you got a bit of a fix tonight. I didn't get to see the results at the end of the game this evening. What did you have out at Briggs Road this evening? How'd they go?
Yeah, we Western Pride. They played South United. We came away with a 4-0 win. Boys played well. Southside they struggled with the long ball a bit. So look, they're anchored at the bottom of the table now. So it's with these guys have got to find something in themselves to try and get a few games to get a few wins. But it's good to see Pride bounce back after their last two. Excuse my dog there going off.
Great.
Yeah. So yeah, it's good for Pride's confidence, especially after the last bit of a run that they had. So that's two wins in a row now. Also, last time I checked, I think Knights were down 1-0 versus Southside Eagles. So that's a bit of a shock. I'm not sure. I haven't checked that for a while, so that could have changed now. I don't know. But look, this round coming up, the bye will be Western Pride. So there's a couple of juicy fixtures coming up. So I think one to watch will certainly be Knights and Mitchelton. I think that'll be a good game that's at home for Knights down at Eric Evans there at Bundamba. So Holland Park and Southside Eagles. That'll be an interesting match as well. Southside Eagles, if they get anything from this match against Knights, they're playing Holland Park down there at Holland Park at Whitehall Reserve. So that'll be a good game as well. Sunny Coast versus South. Look, that'll be up at the Sunshine Coast there, Kawana.
I had to win that one, Liam.
Fire to win that one. Yeah, look, I think from what I saw from South tonight and from what I've seen from Fire, I think you're right. I think Fire will get up. Anything else there that you guys can think of that would be a good matchup?
I think for myself personally, I'm waiting on next week just to see some of these quarantine bodies getting the clearance and seeing who might come out of the woodwork. I hear some
There's a few
from the top half of the table with who could possibly be turning up.
Interesting.
There is a few people sitting in hotel rooms apparently, or supposedly in hotel rooms anyway.
Yeah, look, I think South United, I think they made a couple of signing announcements. Was it the start of last week? They had a few in a row there. So I'm not sure whether they're quarantined, but look, they could certainly do with them after from what I saw tonight. But yeah, look, it's even in the NPL, there's like a lot of with the Southern League down in Victoria, they're not running anymore. There's a lot of guys that want to get some match time in their legs, and they're certainly welcome to come up and try and match it with our players up here. And we're all Queenslanders here, so we're all pretty proud of the way that we can produce our players. So it'll be good for the other players to be exposed to the way that we play our game as well.
Good test for the leagues. Moving on,
yes.
Darren, we might
that game finished up 1-1. Ipswich Knights finished up a draw.
Look, that's a bit of a shock. I expected more of Knights, to be honest. And the Ipswich Derby, Pride got the bye, so they're off now until not this weekend, next weekend. So Knights, I think they've got a couple games coming up. So look, they'll be tired coming into the Derby. Pride will have their they'll be looking forward to that Derby out there at Briggs Road. So 6 ex-Pride players in that Knights team as well.
I think that's plenty of excitement to put in the calendar. I know we throw the word derby around way too much in Brisbane, but I know out west the Ipswich teams take it seriously. I think it's always got good competition out there.
Well, look, even if you go back to the to the 80s, when you had Coal Stars and St Helens and all that, there's a bit of rivalry that's always been there. So it's the first time that I think there's been this derby at the top of the Queensland League for a while. There has been in Cap 1 and Cap 2 with Springfield and Ripley and so it'll be good. It'll be good. Looking forward to it. But that's a chat we can have next week for that.
Sounds good. I'll hold you to it.
Yeah.
Darren, moving on back to Brisbane to the BPL. What stands out for you this week, mate?
Just looking at the ladder, Bayside United, top of the table. Fantastic for them. It's 3 wins on the trot and no goals conceded so far. So fantastic defensive effort from them. They're taking on Caboolture at what's the name of that place? Moreton Bay Central Sports Complex. So there's every chance that they can go to 12 points, and I fully expect them to take out that game. So great to see Bayside on top of the league. Albany Creek had their shock loss last weekend, and they're not going to have it easy this weekend either. They're taking on Brisbane Knights. Brisbane Knights signed 5 players for that game against St George Willawong. They had last week to start betting them in, and they came up trumps against North Star. So there's every chance that they'll be ready to take on Albany Creek, which should 7th versus 8th. Can you believe that? So that should be a really interesting game.
So would that be your game of the round, Darren? Ace versus...
Very definitely. I'd also be intrigued to see how Grange Thistle go against Toowong. I think that's 3rd versus 4th on the ladder. Both teams undefeated, with both having games washed out as well. And my spies tell me that Toowong are the best team in the league at the moment with the speed with which they play the game. Claude Capelli does a fantastic job out there at Toowong. So that should be a fascinating game as well.
That sounds great for the BPL. Good game Saturday with Ace versus Knights. Great game Sunday with Grange versus Toowong. So plenty of options there. Stepping down the tree once again, we'll look at Cap 1. I find this interesting. Darren, Saturday, top 6 teams all playing off against each other. What do you think of that? It's
funny how the draw works out sometimes, isn't it? But it also means that the teams at the bottom of the ladder are playing each other as well. So there's it's a good chance for some of those teams down the bottom to make their way up to mid-table obscurity. But yeah, Brisbane Athletic up travelling to Samford, AC Carina travelling to Annerley, and the Lakes up against Ipswich, hosting Ipswich City. So yeah, some really interesting ties there. One that interests me, I saw UQ against North Pine on the weekend, and that was a pretty dull 0-0 draw. But just watching UQ, they had a guy there, Chris Anderson. He absolutely owns that team. He plays in the middle of the pitch. He's like the cog of the wheel. Every other player floats around him. And it was just fascinating to watch. You know, you see there's certain teams that are just built around one player. You don't see it very often, but when you do, it's really noticeable. So it was, a good watch. They're up against New Farm. New Farm, 1 win, 1 loss so far. So, again, an opportunity for 2 teams low down on the table. If they can sneak a win, then mid-table obscurity is all theirs.
Plenty of praise there for UQ. Maybe someone going under the radar earlier in the season might have a pickup. What's your thoughts?
Oh, look, I thought Chris ran the show. So if he has a bad game, then UQ may not fire. I obviously have to see them a few more times to validate that theory, but that's how I saw them play anyway. They seem to be lacking a little bit up front. They seem to be a very young team, so there wasn't much height within them either. So any of these teams, like your Brisbane Athletics, who have got plenty of experience, should be able to do the business over them.
Oh, fantastic. Hopefully you don't carry on Tony's curse and Chris can have a good season. Moving on to Cap 2 and talking about Tony, your beloved Pine Hills looks like they might be playing out the game of the round. So they're taking on Moggle on Sunday, away at Moggle. What are your thoughts? Undefeated, top of the table Pine Hills, are they going to go the whole way? I know it's early days.
Too early yet. And I don't know about Beloved. I haven't even been to watch them play one game yet. I've just been to a couple of friendlies. But, look, I said last week, on paper, they should win it. But You don't win anything on paper.
No.
Absolutely. And to that, Liam, Friday night, we've got Ripley Valley. They've got Oxley coming down to visit. Ripley Valley sitting in second at the moment, Oxley in sixth. I think this might be another quiet game to keep an eye out on Friday night. How do you think Ripley may turn out knowing the West?
Well, look, Ripley Valley have certainly come on strong since their inception a few seasons ago. They play a good brand of football, and look, I see these guys getting into the finals again and ready for promotion to Cap League One this season. So I rate them pretty highly with this, and I'm just not just saying that because I'm local. I have seen them play.
Yes, you are.
Look, you know, they have a good squad, a good strong squad, and you know so yeah, I reckon my prediction is that they'll certainly be up there for the rest of the season. Was that at home too? Sorry, I haven't. I'm just trying to find the fixture.
8:30 Friday night.
Is that at Briggs Road or at Ripley?
Oh, I'd have to have a look. Sorry, I haven't.
Yeah, okay. No, because they do play some games out of Pride's ground.
Good to be able to share that facility at Ipswich Football. I know it's been a good little area, and since they've updated it, and the grass is a bit better suited to football now instead of rugby. Yes,
absolutely. I think that's probably why that was actually mentioned tonight. Actually, the game with Pride, how much better the pitch is. So maybe that helps the teams as well. That's at Kippen Park at Ripley Valley. So I think that's their actual home ground.
Fantastic. Boys, I don't know how much you look into Cap 2, but any other games stand out for anyone? I think for myself, I noticed there was a wholesome post on the page this week, which I thought was great. I think it was maybe Ripley Valley themselves mentioned about the hospitality of Slacks Creek. I thought that was great to hear. So I think especially after Mount Gravat's post the other week, spending $5 at a club, if you're in the Logan area, I think it might be worth getting out to Slacks Creek at 7 o'clock on Saturday.
Yep.
Just them face against Westside Grovely. Might be worth taking your $5 down there and pay them some good karma back. I know that was a really good thing to see this week on the page.
Mm-hmm.
Moving on from there, we might jump into Cap 3. Thrilling game. I think my beloved Bethania Rams, they played out a 14-goal losing effort to Narangba, which ended up 5-9. 5-9. I saw another great video once again shared. I think it was Aaron Pierce shared a fantastic goal from Bethania in a losing effort, but showed some great football. Bethania take on Jimboomba, so a bit of a Southside derby, bit of a scuffle up there. I know Bethania are sitting 12th, but they've only played one game after that thriller. Anyone had a chance to see what we've got for Cap 3 outside of that?
Yeah, definitely, Joey. Narangba, it seems pretty obvious already that Narangba are going to streak this league, isn't it? So 30 goals scored in 3 games. So yeah, it's they're looking very much like the Logan Metro of last season, and Ripley Valley for that matter. The most interesting games probably Park Ridge hosting Redcliffe PCYC. The PCYC guys have had a good start to the season with 2 wins so far. Good to see them getting their club back on track there with the top team. So yeah, that the middle of the top 4 places there, that second versus fourth. So that'll be interesting. Springfield United are playing North Lakes Mustangs. Joey, you've got some show and tell for Springfield United, haven't you?
Tell, absolutely. I'm lucky enough to work in Springfield and having a little bit of a close affiliation with the club. Very proud of the growth they're seeing, and they're doing some great work out there. I thought I might bring this one up and show out something I've acquired today up on the Facebook page. I believe Scott from posted a picture of Mark down at Ballistics Brewery with the Springfield United Pilsner. fantastic little bit of swag for the club. I think they're selling them out of the clubhouse, $7 a tinny, obviously a special run. And I might put a bit of a segue. It got me thinking, what's the best swag you might have seen come out of your club or seen out of a foreign club? I might put a little surprise out there for anyone if they want to put a comment on the video below after watching it, and we'll see what attention we can get. And I might have a little prize pack we can put together with maybe some help from Springfield. And I know I've got a couple of things hanging around for Process Sports, so might get that cheeky plug in there. But I know that was my highlight of the week. And leading into that game, Springfield play at home against North Lakes Mustangs, as you said, Darren. Good opportunity for a Sunday sesh, 6 o'clock Sunday. That's good, 3rd versus 8th. But, yeah, after my excitement this week and my little off-field moment, I think that might be where I might try to get out to Sunday afternoon.
I personally have got a couple of friends that live down that way at Springfield Way, and they've got a really good junior base there. They're really coming on strong, Springfield United. So if you're in and around the area in that south to western areas, Springfield United certainly got a great junior base.
How does it taste, Joey?
I haven't cracked it yet. I'm being
Crack it, Joey.
the way.
You disappoint, Joey.
Got to be a professional.
Do it like the solos. It's just crack it on your head and just down fast.
I can't do this with a can. I'd do it for maybe if it was mango, but not on this can.
Oh, right.
It's giving me dirty looks for after the call, boys.
Right.
Just getting back to the Cap 3 competition, the football stuff. Willowburn are hosting Logan Village this weekend. I have no doubt that the team up on the range will be eyeing off their first 3 points of the season. It's I'm sure that they've targeted this one, and we wish them the best of luck.
Absolutely, Darren. Can't agree with you more. I think it's been a while since there's been a trek that far for a Brisbane team. So I think if Thunder have shown anything in the FQPL, this might be the Toowoomba stronghold for the clubs up there competing in any of the SEQ competitions.
Yeah, for sure. And just looking at all the teams in the competition, I'd have to say that I think Redcliffe PCYC against Willowburn would be the longest distance between two clubs. It used to be when Sunshine Coast played against the Thunder. That was the longest journey between two
right.
clubs.
Yeah,
this one might be it for this year.
The only other road trip, and I think it'll be a skip this year, was when Gympie would play one of the Gold Coast teams. I think that's always interesting hearing in past years. I think Surfers had to do that drive once to Gympie. I might be mistaken for which Gold Coast team, but I know there's a few treks, and as we branch out, there's definitely the opportunity for some packed lunches coming up.
The old pack lunch.
Well, that's a wrap for those leagues tonight, boys. It's been a pleasure as always. I know if you want to jump in, check out tomorrow evening when Darren reviews obviously the Women's League as well as the Gold Coast and the Sunshine Coast Premier League. I'd just like to thank once again the Look Finance for supporting us going into the SEQFC Preview Show with thanks to Vilic Law. Once again, just a little plug. Show off your favourite swag you've seen from any of your clubs or possible clubs you visited. We might have a little prize pack if we get enough interest into it, and we'll see what we can sort out for people. Gentlemen, once again, Liam, Tony, Darren, thank you for your time. Thank you.
Thank you.
Good to see you boys again.
See you, boys.
Well, Joey.
Have a good night.
Good job, Joey. Host extraordinaire.
See you later.